Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mystery Writer speaking, and welcome to the show. Well, season 5 of Rick and Morty is finally here. So, what better way to celebrate this momentous occasion other than to take a look back into the past to some of the worst episodes possible? No, I'm not saying the season 5 premiere was terrible. No, it was actually great. Return to form for Rick and Morty altogether. But let's be honest. The first 2 seasons of Rick and Morty were pretty much flawless. Sharp writing, great humor, excellent spoofs of pretty much everything. But starting with season 3 onward, the writing had taken a bit of a, tumble, to say the least. I'm not saying that the previous 2 seasons have been terrible. No, there have been some great episodes. But there have also been an increase of some rather plain or just downright terrible episodes. Now, these are not a whole lot, let me tell you that, but they do exist regardless. So let us take a look at the top 3 worst episodes of the previous season of Rick and Morty. At number 3, we have Child Wreck of Mort. Okay, before you get totally mad at me, hear me out. This is mostly just a place filler. I really just have a top 2, but I really wanted it to be a top 3. So, hell with the algorithm and all that. But, yeah. But I also felt that Child Wreck of Mort is a bit more of a plain episode compared to some of the absolute crazy crap we've gotten in season 4. I mean, yeah, sure, Rick has intercourse with a planet and gets kids, only to find out later that they're not his. Soap opera style. And apparently Zeus is real. Okay. Now again, this episode is not bad. I actually really enjoyed it, but you have to admit, it is a little bit more of the plainer episode compared to some of the others. While I do believe that the multi-arc storyline was well handled, I do believe that the Morty and Summer arc was the weakest of the 3, with Rick pretty much just telling them that their hobbies will never actually be able to save them, and then they get proven correct. His suspicions get proven correct, and that they fail miserably, only to accidentally save his life. Okay? Yeah, sure. I personally think it would have been better if they actually proved Rick wrong. I mean, sure, Rick is supposed to be the smartest man in the universe, but it would be nice, from a story perspective, to have him be proven wrong every now and again. As well as the fact that certain story elements just weren't fully developed, such as the alien spawned that were supposedly Rick's. I mean, yeah, sure, they're supposed to be childlike and they were just literally born, but they just didn't have a whole lot of personality to them. I mean, again, I know they were supposed to be still developing, but even at a young age, a human infant still has some personality other than just being a loaf of bread. Not to mention the fact that the pacing in the first half of the episode was just way too fast. I mean, we're just getting from point A to point B to point C almost immediately. Rick discovers that a planet that he had relations with is pregnant, about to give birth. Those kids are immediately birthed, and then he establishes a society for them, and then divides them into useful and unuseful categories, and then all hell breaks loose. And a lot of the ideas that the episode was going for were just left underdeveloped. Overall, this was still a very fun episode, which, oddly enough, I would say the best part of it was probably Jerry. Him with his survival skills, teaching the unwanted alien spawn how to survive in the wild, and then having them rise up against Rick and his society. That, again, was probably the best part of the episode. It doesn't bode well when Jerry is the best part of the episode. Overall, it's a close to perfect episode regardless, with some story elements that are either well developed or underdeveloped, and a few pacing issues. So I give it a 4.8 out of 5. From this moment on, I will be discussing my 2 least favorite episodes of not just season 4, but also the entire series as a whole. Let us start with my number 2 pick, the Fat of Acid episode. Okay, again, put the pitchforks and torches down, please, and allow me to explain myself. Yes, I'm fully aware that this episode won an Emmy. Ooh, it won an Emmy. Yeah, but winning an award doesn't necessarily mean it's good. I mean, name one Academy Award winning movie that really didn't deserve that Academy Award. Hurt Locker! Anyways, the Fat of Acid episode, I actually don't have much of a problem with. I mean, it's brilliantly written with the whole montage aspect of it, very few dialogue, really showing Morty growing as a character, maturing as an adult, going through such an ordeal with someone that he legitimately loves. That part was great! Up until that terrible twist. Yeah, apparently Rick got upset over the stupidest thing, having Morty tell him that his stupid invention of a fake fat of acid was in fact stupid. Yeah, and so Rick came up with this convoluted plan to teach his grandson a lesson because he's a petty asshole. 2 things. 1, we already had an episode like this. It was the heist episode. That entire episode pretty much had Rick trying to sabotage Morty and selling his script to Netflix. So why do we need 2 of these similar episodes in the same season? It doesn't make any sense. Second, it's just mean. It's just too mean-spirited. I know Rick can be a mean asshole, but this is just low. This was low, cringy, and so uncomfortable to watch. Especially when the idiot cop thinks he's immune to acid, laughs at his dead commander, and then dances away like an idiot. Which ultimately leads to what I believe to be the absolute worst post-credits scene in Rick and Morty history, and where he goes on the Johnny Carson show and has himself dipped into a vat of acid only to die. This isn't funny, this isn't clever, this is just stupid. But the first half of the episode is great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just the twist that ruins it for me. I hate the twist. It's mean-spirited, it's cringy, and it's just downright stupid. It ruins what should have been a perfect episode. I give it a 4 out of 5, meaning it's average. And I believe that's the best way to describe this episode. It's just average. The twist ruined it. It would have been perfect if it wasn't for that terrible twist and Rick being his usual, well, actually, no, not his usual self. An over-the-top asshole. That's what he was in this episode. He was an over-the-top asshole. That was Rick in this episode. And finally, my number 1 choice. Now, I know a lot of you may have disagreed with me about my number 2 choice, but I think we can all agree what the number 1 should be. It's Claw and Hoarder, Special Rickdom's Morty. The 4th episode of the 4th season is by far the worst episode of the entire series. So, Morty gets a dragon. He gets bored of the dragon. The dragon and Rick bond, have magical sex. Okay, weird. Even for this series. And then the wizard that they got the dragon from comes around and slut shames the dragon. And then the dragon is sentenced to death for being a slut. Oh, okay. What? And then apparently because they had magical sex, Rick and the dragon are soul bonded. This all leads up to Rick having a magical orgy with a bunch of dragons and his 2 underage grandchildren in order to defeat the wizard. and free the slut dragons. Oh my lord, what kind of drugs were these people on when they were writing this episode? Because my gosh, this is the cringiest crap ever. Wow. I mean, let's be honest, when the best part of your episode is the B plot involving Jerry and a talking cat, aka something that could be in practically any cartoon series, you know you're in trouble. But yeah, the B plot involving Jerry and the talking cat and the highs and lows of their relationship, only to find out that the cat has such a dark past that it even disturbs Rick. That was good. It's just everything about the A plot kind of sucks. No, actually, not kind of sucks. Extremely sucks. And it's disturbing and gross and uncomfortable to watch. It actually put me off watching season 4 for about a good 4 months. Now, in my original review of this particular episode, I gave it a 4 out of 5, indicating that it was average. But upon further reflection, I gotta give it a 3 out of 5. It's just it's extremely below average. It's cringy, it's stupid, it's disturbing, it's uncomfortable. The B plot was just the best part of the episode. Yeah, it doesn't bode well when Jerry is the best part of the plot in any capacity. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Click that bell notification down below. Check out my DeviantArt page for more reviews. Oh, by the way, check out my review of the premiere of Season 5. I'll put a link down below as well. And until next time, sayonara.